So it seems that no one wants electric vehicles anymore. Folks, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist. And as always, if it's your first time here on the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're interested in preparedness and survival in the practical manner that I approach it here on the channel, consider not only subscribing and watching previous videos using the search function for any topic specifically that you're interested in, but also getting street survival skills and surviving the economic collapse. My books about just this available in Amazon there below. Let's check this out and comment later.
I've been in the auto industry 40 years, and I've never seen this kind of investment.
$6.5 billion strictly dedicated to EVs.
Wedbush says spending on commercial EVs should top $1.2 trillion between now and 2030.
We're building the future of the electric vehicle.
In 2022, consumers spent nearly $400 billion on electric cars worldwide. The U.S. is expected to add 1 million new EVs to its roads in 2023. And from 2023 to 2027, automotive companies have committed $616 billion in total investments. Meanwhile, these efforts have hit an unnerving speed bump. EV sales are slowing.
I was a little nervous about going all EV because my husband has an EV as well.
That's the point. I mean, first of all, they're fucking expensive. They cost a fortune. So just from the start, you have a lot of people that will say, you know what, yeah, nice environment, people that fall for all of that crap, but they just cost a fortune. They're not exactly the easiest vehicles to maintain. An old used car that's more of a typical combustion engine is a lot easier in terms of your local mechanic figuring stuff out. This is not the case. There's a lot of problems already, and once you saturate the market, you start looking at the artificial aspect of electric vehicles, which is the government is pushing for it. The government is paying for it. All of that money from your pocket going directly into the companies so as to promote this reach a breaking point in which people just don't want it, so they start stacking the hell up in parking lots.
And to have two EVs in the house, you know, it's challenging. I think the main issue is the long distance travel.
Yeah, of course.
Been kind of in that situation. You do have to plan.
Yes.
In August 2023, it took about twice as long to sell an EV in the US as it did the previous January. Gas-burning vehicles were still selling briskly. While slightly more than half of consumers say EVs are the future and will eventually replace combustion engines, less than a third of dealers say so.
You have a product that almost...
Did you see that? Less than a third of dealers think that this is the future. But people are so stupid, so easily brainwashed. Guys, prepare, get ready while you still can. People are beyond stupid. They just repeat what the media tells them. They don't look at the simple aspect of it has a giant ass battery. If this is inconvenient, imagine the battery of a damn car. Where the hell are you gonna throw that? If you look at what people are saying in terms of how inconvenient it is, how could the grid possibly sustain everyone driving an electric? Oh yeah, yeah, okay, we can do it, but it's not right now. And it's definitely not going to be in a few years. And even if you get through that, the amount of electricity that these things need to run, it's insane. It is super inefficient to charge a battery for a car. That's why we only use batteries for things like these. The largest thing you should use a battery for is a vacuum cleaner, not a fucking car. That's why you don't use an electric chainsaw. You use a gasoline chainsaw. Anything larger is just a waste of energy. But well, money, business, it had to be done. They pushed this thing down the throats of most people around the world, but it's reaching that breaking point of, yeah, I can't afford this thing. This thing is a time bomb. Literally, they do explode. Recently in the airport in London, these are bombs driving around the streets, right? Imagine if this is the point in which we are now. Imagine with everyone driving their own little bomb. No, this is a little bomb. Those are large bombs. Imagine people having to, any emergency, as the woman just said, we cannot plan all of this all the time. You have to plan when you're going to be using. What if I just want to go now? Oh, you have to charge it. Well, that's not the case with my diesel. I just I just did a trip over almost 1,000 miles. Barely had to put diesel in that thing. It goes for 700. My Honda goes for 700 miles with diesel. I mean, and I just have to throw more in it. And it runs great, and it just works fine, and it's not about to explode. In fact, it's safer than even gasoline. So why the hell would you have all electric fleet? This is why they've reached this breaking point.
Every automaker has hinged their future on. The government is really saying, look, we gotta go with electrification, but when the rubber meets the road, when people have to make that decision and a lot of money's involved, we're starting to see that that's starting to take a bit of a hit.
Tesla has slashed prices dramatically. Sales at some EV startups have disappointed, and companies like Ford have ramped up hybrid production as demand for their EVs has leveled off. So what is really going on, and why? And what does it mean for the future?
For those who are in combustion, would you suggest taking the step as the bridge, so to speak, to a PHEV, a plug-in hybrid, or do you think perhaps going right over that to an electric vehicle? There's
just no way around it. It's a big ass toy that runs on a battery, and you want a car. You want something that has a combustion. This is chainsaw, gasoline, or a battery. Who the hell runs an electric chainsaw? Well, it's the exact same thing. It is just, if you even just look at the simple fact that it's not even better for the environment, you have a giant lithium battery. You're just exploiting some of the poorest people in the world in the production of that thing. That's not even in discussion. It's a lot more contaminants, a lot more polluting, a lot worse for the environment, if that's what you're even worried about, to make an electric car than a combustion engine car. Let alone a diesel car that runs even more efficiently than a gasoline car, right? So from the start, that's the problem. What are you doing with a giant battery? Oh, there's plans to recycle. There's just plans. Plans are just talk. That's not a strategy. That's not the reality in which you live in right now. What the hell are you doing with those batteries that will be dead in 5 years? No matter what they say, they just drop and drop in charge, and you have to throw that giant thing away. You have a grid that is impossible for everyone to have an electric vehicle as of right now. Oh, but in the future, okay. But as of right now, not the case. Driving around a damn bomb if there's a drop of water in that thing. Driving around a bomb if you get into a car crash. You are looking at potential disasters with every single one of these. And there's not that many of them on the street anyway at this point. And already it's showing to be a problem. And the greatest thing of all, the worst thing of all that electric vehicles have is you cannot depend on the damn thing. If you need to go, any car, gasoline or diesel, you just fill it up and you go. You throw a couple tanks and you go. You see these bastards driving around their electric vehicles with a fucking generator in the trunk because they don't know when they'll have to use a generator to charge up their vehicle. Folks, this is beyond stupid. If you want to have an electric vehicle, by all means, but don't be so stupid as to not have a combustion engine alternative for when you really need a vehicle to get around. Guys, that's going to be all for now. See you on the next video. Take care.